All right, so there you see there's the image, and I've added it to the prompt as well. Can you see how big we're going to build this out? There's brand files in here, there's a lot of stuff in here. So the next thing I'm going to do is let me say, okay, we said we're going to use Lucid fonts. Okay, all right. We're going to add a shopping cart to this. We're not building the functionality of the shopping cart out yet, but I want us to build out the graphical user interface so we can later go back and build the functionality. So we need a shop page. We need a page to maybe even view what's in our baskets, or at least the basket icons to the top. So the site can be looking clean, but also very professional. The colors used is not vibrant colors, so it's not eye-catching necessarily, but try to make it as wow as you possibly can. We need an FAQ section. Please add appropriate FAQs. We need a contact us page. We need the normal legal pages at the bottom in a footer for things like privacy, and continue asking me questions so we can build this out correctly first time. I'm in plan mode, and this is now the difference. You could have put this in a normal prompt, but plan mode create to-dos. It's really thinking like a planner, like a architect would. All right, with you being an architect, not a coder, the planning mode is extremely important. So let's see what it comes back with. All right, it want to know how we're going to technically handle all this. So is it going to multi-page separate HTML files, single page app, one index HTML, vanilla JS client side, routing to swap content? All right, for this website, it will all be different HTML pages. We will later on use things like React and so forth. Already you can use Tailwind if you so prefer, but this is part of training guys on graphical user interface, but without using things like Node.js and so forth. So no installing of all kinds of packages like React, Tailwind, and so forth will be done for this site. So ideally, it will be straight HTML pages. If I do it any other way, it will mean that I now have to teach you so many other things that's really a part of tier 2. Then it asked me for visible text, logo area, footers, contact pages. Do you have the final? Well, this is really just a test site explaining HTML, showing what beautiful things can be created, and we can just think of a very nice name for this business. Okay. Then one other thing is that I love the use of labels and badges that can be SVG generated or icons. So if you can create badges, labels, and things like that to make the site better, use toasts and so forth. Now in our master prompt file, I already told it to use Lucid. I've already told it to use a specific movement, motion, JavaScript libraries, and so forth. All right, so there it's starting. So it's building out the site, or it want to build out the site. And it will now look at this plan it come up with. It did ask me quite relevant questions. It built it up a little to-do list without even going to look any further. I'm just going to say build. Now, when you're going to build out big plans, all right, you can say, please break this up in phases. You'll see this in tier 2. That is, you are very near to tier 2, by the way, 4 videos away. We will ask it to create this plan in phases. Maybe just first do the menu items and so forth, and then stop after each phase and test. Now with a web page, there's not a lot of testing needed. You can simply open up the page and look. All right, once you're going to create functionality, you want to test this functionality. So you can see how it's busy creating all kinds of things. What's interesting is I see it created a CSS folder for us. So it's not going to place all that style sheets in each page. It will have the CSS pages here, and you can see them. Look at this styling. Yes, your layout styling, your comp, and you can see how Cursor starts building this up, not as a just one single file site. It's got 3 different style sheets in there. Look, it even got something called variables in there, right? Ain't this nice? And if I keep this, you can actually go and change the styling right inside this file here. I mean, there's a black, you can change it to whatever you want. So this is your main styling, and by changing one thing in here, you will change it for it everywhere on the site, on all the pages. There's an About Us page, there's a basket HTML page, and you can see how it goes crazy, adding pages upon pages for you. And the more detailed you are, the more pages you want that you put into the plan, the more things you will see it will create for you. All right, it wants to do something. All right, it want to move our image to another place. Do some more changes. Now cursor will never work outside this directory. So if it's making additional directories, adding files, it will never move out of your main web directory that you created. So the rest of your file system is going to be untouched, and you can fetch. All right. Oh, there it goes. It goes now to Lucid, and it starts fetching Lucid icons for us. All right, so they'd come back. Here's what was implemented, and suddenly you can see there's quite a lot implemented. There's our index page, and I want us to just have a look at it, and you can see that here's your head, and what it did inside this head area, it created 3 links to your CSS files that is inside this CSS folder. So instead of having all this stuff and this in each page, it just created the links to it. Now the question is, can I see this straight from here? I want to see, open to the site, open with, I want to say open with. Nope, that won't work. I'm going to say reveal in File Explorer, meaning it's going to open up my File Explorer. And let me just show you this File Explorer of mine. All right, I see we run out of time yet again. So in the next lesson, we will look at what was created. I'll see you there. Bye.